from the right perspective, in the right lighting. The protective cap on top of the tower takes after a Stetson hat. Fitting. Because this is where the West began again.
You know, it used to have like this almost skirt at the bottom.
That was the original title of Rob Smat's manuscript on the Fort Worth tornado, until he found a different angle.
I remember growing up here and seeing especially the Bank One tower, now the tower, covered in plywood for all that time and thinking, wow, you know, that's why is that still there? And this is the story of that too.
For years, Smat's combed through old Star Telegram photos and newscasts and interviewed survivors. He found a made-for-TV drama about the people who rebuilt Bank One, the first skyscraper to encounter a twister.
The tower was stuck and, stuck in limbo. The windows weren't even the half of it.
Though any story about Bank One starts with those 3,540 panes.
All of our glass is out and just Bank One's glass is in my apartment.
The building's west side took nature's worst. Windows that weren't blown out on March 28th fell out in the following days.
Some of the panes weigh 200 pounds, and the streets below are littered with shards of glass. And when they drop to the ground, they shatter into razor-sharp pieces.
Cleanup crews beat out the dangling glass while downtown streets were closed. Soon, plywood covered the empty holes, and Bank One became Plank One.
It just turns into what, some would call a cluster very quickly.
Talks of turning the property into a parking lot began immediately. But a nearby church and businesses feared their buildings would be damaged by debris during an implosion. Workers started manual deconstruction, though that process slowed when they found asbestos. Bank One sat, covered in so much moldy plywood, the city declared it a fire hazard.
That was Fort Worth's birdhouse for 5 years, if not longer.
Demolition's delay embarrassed Fort Worth's leaders, but it saved the building. In 2003, new investors announced the skyscraper, too sturdy for a tornado, too stubborn for demolition, would become housing.
It's wild to think we're sitting here right now in a beautiful condo.
Graham Stiles is the realtor who handles condo sales at the tower. Today, it's the city's largest residential high-rise, with 36 floors and 276 units. It changed the neighborhood.
Downtown was a place a lot of people went to work, but it rolled up at 5:30 p.m.
No one had really pitched apartments and condos for the city's center, but the tower filled up so fast,
there was a line.
Management abandoned plans to rent apartments and instead listed every unit for sale. Other developers followed, and downtown became a place to live and enjoy.
I really think it's what spurred a lot of the other redevelopments that we saw.
Today, it's easy to trace the tornado's path from the tower's western windows. Just look for what's new.
The tornado was a source of immense damage, but it also fostered a lot of the resurgence and the growth of Fort Worth that you see now.
Smat would tell you there really aren't villains in his story, just an unfortunate few stuck handling problems no one had before. Downtown Cowtown's unwitting trailblazers. In Fort Worth, I'm Matt Houston.